Good evening, YouTubers. Today I'm going to attempt to write a ballad, or at least a mock-up for a ballad, using SmartBridge, and I'm going to combine the tyros and my motif XS rack. So I'll start off by using my template, which already has the style engine, but also has the playing area, the areas where you can actually have solo instruments. And I also have the song channels. On the motif side, I have all the multis, channel 1 to 4, normally that's the case, and then the additional channels that are part of that sort of category as well. So that's my template. It's got an intro, verse, and a chorus. I think my song is going to have a little difference around that. So let's open SmartBridge, and in there, I've chosen today to use a chord progression called A Reflective Ballad at Journey Edge. It's quite a strong ballad, and it has a lot of sort of taste to it. You'll see what I mean in a couple of seconds. So the first thing I'll do is I need to have an intro. Now, normally in music composition, the intro is a little bit bigger than the actual verse itself. So what I usually do then is that I will record the B section instead of recording the A section. Excellent. So let's first of all adjust the tempo, 75. And it's just 4 bars, so I'll drag it over to the rhythm part here. There we go. So that's my intro. And I want to double that. And then I want the chords as well, so I can look at them and use them. Same thing with that. We'll double that. Right click, create the chord events. Bang, there we go. So right now I got this very basic composition, and it's actually working in tandem with the first chords there. The first thing I'll do is I will connect the motif, because I prefer the drums and bass of the motif. So I'll enter and I have a performance or a multi, depending on what system you're on. That's called Rock of the 80s. I'll use that. Remove the global ARP. And what it gives me a rock stereo kit, which is quite a nice sort of drum. And it also gives me a mega finger harmonics, which I also like. So instead of using the tyros here, I will actually use the drums of motif. And the bass of motif as well. Oh, sorry. Here we go. Let's join them together. And then we'll bring them down. There we go. So now I have a work in progress of the first intro. And before it goes into the verse, I want to do something a little special with it. So let's listen to quickly what it's all about now. And here I want a break. Now, a typical break would require me to shut off the last chords here. Same thing here. Remove that. So I want a classic break here. I'll let the bass just do the one note. So it will be on the beat of the break. And then for the actual break, I want to use, it's just repeating that old stuff. So I'm going into my drums and percussion, channel 1. I've filtered on rock, and I want a BA is usually the type that ends stuff. So let's try one of these. A little bit too rough. How about this one? Yes, that's more like it. So we'll exchange that. drag into it. Perfect. Now let's listen to the whole context. I'm not 100% satisfied, but let's keep on working with this. Let's continue working, and the next step here is, of course, is to get the verse started. Now the verse, it's normally the same thing as playing, but it has a very nice progression. You'll see what I mean when I show it to you right now. I love this chord that comes in now. Listen to this. And here it comes again. Excellent. Let's use that. We'll just use it as is, and that will be the verse. Same thing, I drag down the bass and the drums and use the motif instead. And let's remove a little more instruments. It's supposed to be less busy. Oh, I like the electric piano. Let's keep that. Yeah, that works. So, what do we have so far? We have an intro, we have a verse. Instead of going straight into the chorus, I am going to use this pre-chorus, which is just 4 bars long. So for that, I'm going to use a little bit busier, and of course it will end with a break. So let's try that. Perfect. So we'll switch that in. Let's first drag it over so we have it. Here we go. Same thing with the drums. Keep the drums. Keep the bass. And here I also want to remove some of the instruments that are... That guitar is a bit unnecessary. That's fine. I don't want the piano. And what does the guitar do? That's a little bit too busy for my taste. So what I'll do is that I'll actually... So remember, these are mega voices. So the idea is that the pre-chorus should of course be at a lower intensity. So when the chorus kicks in, everything sounds so much bigger. That's the whole idea behind that. So I'll use this, the chorus. This is my pre-chorus. Give it another color just for fun. Call it a pre-chorus. There we go. And now for the actual chorus then. Let's start that. Let's use that. And we'll use main D. Everything is on and a fill with main D. There we go. Oh. And there comes that beautiful chord again that breaks the whole progress. And it comes again. Excellent. So with that underway, and we have the drag it over and drag it over. There we go. So now, as you understand, the idea is that the composition now has the first level, which is just an intro, and we'll remove stuff from it. So I want less intrusive. Love the guitar, it's actually really nice. This is a bit repetitive, but I'm fine with it at the moment, because the chord progression is going to be better. As you can hear, It's a typical verse. The intensity has been lowered. Here it comes. That beautiful, I think it's called, I can't remember the word in English, but in Swedish it's metandik. Here it comes again. Here comes the pre-chorus. And it breaks down the intensity a little bit more. And here we go. There comes a typical classic chorus. And that is my take on writing a simple ballad using tyros and the motif at the same time. Thank you very, very much.